Good morning again, everyone. My name is Jim Pine. I'm the CAO for the county, and I'd like to call this meeting to order. We always start with a land acknowledgement. I'd like to read it today. We're meeting today on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Huron-Wendat, the Anishinaabe, and the Haudenosaunee peoples. Hastings County Council acknowledges our shared obligation to respect, honor, and sustain these lands and the natural resources contained within. We honor their cultures and celebrate their commitment to this land. We would also like to acknowledge the Mohawk and Algonquin nations whose traditional and unceded territory we are gathered on today. Hastings County is situated on treaty land that is steeped in rich Indigenous history and home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people. I ask those who can stand to please stand for a moment of silence. Thank you. For the members of Hastings County Council, I would ask, are there any disclosures of interest? Being none, we'll carry on. I'd like to introduce our new county council, and as I call your name, if you could just stand and stay standing, and we'll acknowledge you after we're finished the introduction. That's okay. From the town of Bancroft, Councillor Paul Jenkins. From the township of Carlow Mayo, Councillor Randy Wallace. The municipality of Center Hastings, Councillor Tom DeLine. In the town of Deseronto, Councillor Dan Johnston. In the township of Faraday, Councillor Dennis Purcell. In the municipality of Hastings Highlands, Councillor Tony Fitzgerald. In the township of Limerick, Councillor Kim Carson. From the township of Baydock, Councillor Lloyd Blackburn. In the municipality of Marmora Lake, Councillor Jan O'Neill. The township of Sterling Rawdon, Councillor Bob Mullen. From the township of Tudor and Cashel, Dave Hedison. The municipality of Tweed, Councillor Don DeGenova, sorry, Don. From the township of Tandanaga, Claire Kennelly. And from the township of Wollaston, Michael Firth. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your new county council. Thank you. Well, the only time I can tell them to sit down, so. Today, we have two nominations for the position of warden that have been duly moved. Oh, right. See, I'm already out of sync here. Traditionally, at inaugural sessions, we have a history lesson from 100 years ago, and we've asked Councillor DeLine to do that for us. Councillor?
Thank you very much, Jim, and I'll remain seated so I can reach the mic here, if that's all right with everybody. It is a pleasure, and one of the other reasons, a little bit of pleasure, it is my birthday today, too, and my my youngest granddaughter as well. The unfortunate part about that is when she was born, I was 70, and she turned 7 today, so that tells you where I'm at. It's my pleasure to be able to give this today, this short little history lesson on where we've been for 100 years. Before we reflect on the history of Hastings County Council in 1923, I thought we should first look at what significant events were happening in Canada 100 years ago. Canada's Prime Minister demanded more autonomy and began to make our own decisions about following Britain into war and insisted on signing our own treaties. On March the 2nd, the first international treaty was signed, the Halibut Treaty with the USA. Department of National Defense was formed. First play-by-play radio broadcast of a professional hockey game was aired. The Toronto Symphony Orchestra gave their first concert performance. Frederick Banting and J.J.R. MacLeod were the first Canadians to win a Nobel Prize for their work that led to the discovery of insulin. As we know, they were co-discoverers along with James Bertram Collip, who was local to Belleville. Excuse me. Looking back at history, I thought it may be interesting to look at what our grocery bills would look like if we were back in 1923. Quart of milk, 11 cents. Butter, 39 cents. Loaf of bread, 6 cents. Bag of sugar, 11 cents. Boy, how times have changed. Excuse me. Now let's focus on Hastings County Council and what priorities were being dealt with locally in 1923. The inaugural session of Hastings County Council began on January the 23rd, 1923, and continued for 5 days, ending on January the 27th, 1923. 29 local reeves and deputy reeves of the member municipalities of the County of Hastings assembled as county councilors in the council chambers at Shire Hall in Belleville at 2 o'clock. At 4:30 p.m., the clerk called the meeting to order and took nominations for the seat of Warden. C. Ballard, reeve of Monteagle and Herschel, and J.V. Waltz, reeve of the Township of Tananaga, were both nominated. Council was then adjourned, and they met the following morning at 10 a.m. Council resumed the following day, and a vote was held. With 22 votes, Mr. J.V. Waltz, reeve of the Township of Tananaga, was declared Warden for the County of Hastings for 1923. A delegation by Belleville City Council and the Chamber of Commerce was heard, and they invited County Council to attend a banquet at Hotel Quinty on Friday evening. A report was received from the Board of Management of the House of Refuge, indicating new commitments, deaths, discharges, and abscondments for the 1922 year, with all residents in the home being referred to as inmates. Total number of inmates for the previous year was 85. The House of Refuge was not only a home for the aged, but a working industrial farm that had calves, horses, pigs, and hens, also selling hay, barley, oats, wheat, potatoes, corn, carrots, peas, and other goods. It was noted that the Board of Management for the House of Refuge visited the home and made a very careful inspection. They found it to be clean, well kept in every respect. Also, the farm, barn, and outbuildings were in splendid condition. They also interviewed all of the inmates and found them all to be well kept, comfortable, and contented, except for one woman who was believed to have no reason to complain. Bylaws were passed to borrow money for current expenses and to appoint members to the House of Refuge. Council adjourned and met again at the following session from June the 12th to June the 16th, 1923. His Honor the Warden addressed Council, and the minutes from January 1923 were adopted. Several notices of motion and notices of bylaw were given. Notice was given that on tomorrow, they would bring a bylaw to grant permission to Bancroft Light, Heat, and Power Company to erect poles and string wire on certain portions of the provincial county roads in the County of Hastings. To assume the boundary road between Richmond Township and Lennox, missed one page. Mr. Rowlands, reeve from Tweed, gave notice that he would introduce a bylaw fixing the county treasurer's salary and allowance. Notice that a bylaw would be brought designating the boundary road between Richmond and Tananaga from Kingsford Bridge to Desirado would be an approved county road. Bylaw would also be brought forth regulating hawkers, peddlers, and petty chapmen carrying on petty trades outside of Belleville, Trenton, and Desirado. Again, many pieces of correspondence and reports were brought forth, and all were referred to Committee of the Whole on Ways and Means. This included payments of accounts, membership renewals, conference attendance, and advertising of Hastings County. The county clerk was instructed to procure an inventory book for the purpose of keeping an accurate list of furniture in each of the offices of the county buildings, as well as the public schools. Asset management at its finest in 1923. Bylaws were then approved for the following: fixing the county treasurer's salary and allowance was read a first time and referred to Committee of the Whole for bylaws. Levy tax rates for the year. To assume the boundary road between Richmond Township and Lennox County and Tananaga Township for a distance of 6 miles. To license, regulate, and govern hawkers, peddlers, and petty chapmen. Coincidentally, the license fees were all reduced from previous years. Petting on foot, $50. With one horse or other animals, $75. With a truck, $150. With 2 horses or other animals, $100. And with peddling coal oil, $5. Accounts were approved and grants provided in the amount of $500 to the Township of Wollaston to build a road around Bachelor's Hill, $300 to Maynooth Public School to assist in rebuilding, and $1,000 to the Frankfurt Continuation School for construction. Also, the Township of Sydney received a grant of 40% of the cost of construction of a bridge known as the Sager Bridge on the road from Frankfurt to Sterling. The total approved budget for 1923 was $437,473.50, with the majority of those funds going towards schools and county roads. In accordance with their resolution from January, the Warden and Chairman of the Finance Public Property Committee believed that the interest and welfare of the county could be best served by a fuller representation of all interest and localities. The committee adopted a plan to have representative pictures made and displayed in railway stations, hotels, and other places, as well as a booklet containing the various descriptions of tourist attractions with a description of agriculture and commercial resources to be published and distributed. It was decided that $1,000 would be appropriated to cover these expenses, the first step towards economic development in Hastings County. Copies of this booklet, entitled Over the Hills of Hastings, are available in the foyer. Council adjourned and then met again one final time from December the 4th to December 6th, 1923. At the final sitting of council, Warden Walsh presented a silver cup to be donated to a public speaking event. The judges awarded the stunning silver cup to Ms. Draycup for her speech on the benefit of consolidated schools. Council received an invitation from Albert College to visit and inspect the building, although it was under construction. Arrangements were made, and council visited the following day at 1:30 p.m. Council instructed the clerk to write to the Attorney General regarding the new jail official uniforms that were sent. This letter stated that as the uniforms in questions were received some time ago, we must pay for them. However, council considers it unnecessary to have any uniforms for jail officials, and council is not prepared to pay for any more of them. If any more uniforms are sent, then they were to be returned. A report was brought forward advising that all but 20 miles of our county roads were now approved by the Department of Highways. The government subsidy for the remaining roads was at 40%, meaning there was a tremendous financial gain of thousands of dollars to the county of Hastings in years to come. Councils that were from the north had to depart early to take the train and were to receive full pay. Notice was given to council of a legal action from William Cross, lawyer of Madoc, regarding an alleged accident at Pinery Hill north of Millbridge. This being at the same time that Warden Walsh was also served a writ by O'Flynn, Diamond, and O'Flynn for damage alleged to have been sustained in an automobile accident near Marlbank, both on provincial county roads. It was decided that the county would defend the accident in Marlbank. As to the accident at Pinery Hill, council was unanimous in their opinion that there existed no condition that would constitute negligence on the part of the county. The cause of the accident was wholly due to the failure of the proponent to operate his car properly. They were also of the opinion that it would not be in the best interest of the county to participate in litigation, so they would provide a settlement of $100. At the end of this session, council members extended their feelings of general regard and recognition of the efficient service that Warden Walsh had rendered during his term 100 years ago. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor DeLine. Times have changed, hasn't they? Our budget last year was about $162 million. O'Flynn Weiss is now our county solicitor, so that's great to have him on our side this time. And for those who've been around for a while, it sounds like joint and several liabilities got at least 100 years worth of time that we've been trying to change that. But anyway. As I started out to say, we have nominations for the position of warden. We have two. They've been duly moved and seconded. Councillor Bob Mullen from the Township of Sterling Rawdon and Councillor Jan O'Neill from the Municipality of Marmorant Lake. Under our procedural bylaw, each candidate now has 5 minutes to speak to County Council before the vote is held. And we do the order of speaking based on alphabet. So I would ask Councillor Mullen to come forward to the microphone and present your remarks to Council. Thank you.
Good morning, welcome. My name is Bob Mullen, and I am hoping to be the next warden of Hastings County. I've been married to Shirley for 45 years, and we have 3 adult children and 3 grandchildren. I'm a graduate of the Diploma of Agriculture program from OAC University of Guelph, Ontario. Since graduation, I have worked at the Agricultural College in New Liskeard, Ontario, then with United Cooperatives of Ontario. In 1995, Shirley and I purchased the home hardware store in Sterling, which we continue to run in partnership with our son and daughter-in-law. My hobbies include woodworking, camping, and hiking. In 2010, I was elected as a councillor in the township of Sterling-Rawdon. I considered that my business experience would be an asset for the township. In 2014, I was re-elected and appointed as deputy mayor. Mayor Rodney Cooney was elected as warden of Hastings County during this term, which provided me with much insight and understanding of what the warden's position entails. In 2018, I was elected as the mayor of Sterling-Rawdon and has just been re-elected to that position. Still feel that my business experience is a valuable asset in this role. My accomplishments while on council speak well for my experience I can bring to Hastings County Council. Some of the key projects that I have been involved with, started, or have completed during my three previous terms of council are Sterling Lagoon project completion and certificate of approval, which has allowed for growth. Transition to the Ontario Provincial Police, reducing our costs in the township. Reconstruction of Hordes Road, reconstruction of Ridge Road, development of a subdivision agreement with Royale Subdivisions, updating the Springbrook Road, both east and west. Interesting thing on these roads, they're all county roads that were downloaded to the township. Relining of the Sterling Water Tower, brought new water well online in Sterling, updated our equipment fleet, bringing the new paramedic base to Sterling-Rawdon, thanks again to the county, assisting our long-term care facility with additional bed allotment. We're currently involved in the downtown Sterling infrastructure project, which is replacing some very old infrastructure in the downtown core. In fact, the storm sewer is underneath a lot of the buildings in the downtown core. Sterling-Rawdon is a leader in shared services with neighboring municipalities. Example is the fire administration with Tweed and the building inspection services, which we share with 4 other municipalities. I feel that my experience with both municipal and county councils will provide me with a strong background to represent the people of Hastings County. My goals are to continue looking for cost efficiencies through joint services. I also believe in staff development, both attracting good staff and retaining them. Any organization is only as good as the people who run it. As Hastings County, we will continue to provide our good staff with the tools they need to do their jobs properly. Chairing a meeting, it is my objective to follow the agenda, give everyone an equal opportunity to speak. I also like to keep meetings moving at a reasonable pace and to finish in a timely manner. All items on the agenda need to be achieved. Decisions need to be made in a timely fashion, allowing staff an opportunity to proceed promptly with good direction. As a council, it is not our job to manage staff. It is our job to give direction to the highly qualified professional staff to succeed at their jobs.
Thank you, Councillor Mullen. I now call on Councillor O'Neill.
Slight adjustment. Good morning, everyone. Firstly, congratulations to the returning councillors and congratulations and welcome to our new members of County Council. Today, I am asking for your vote for the position of warden. I'm going to tell you my vision for my role as warden, my education, career experience, achievements, objectives, and some personal information to convince you that I am the best qualified and most experienced candidate to fulfill the role of warden and represent Hastings County. When I refer to Hastings County, I mean the 14-member municipalities, from north to south and east to west and everything in between. I also acknowledge that we have a strong working connection with Prince Edward County and the 2 separated cities of Belleville and Quinte West. My objective: to work as a team to achieve the highest level and degree of services for our residents and stakeholders. To strive to make a difference in someone's life every day. As His Honor always said, strong today, stronger tomorrow. My education post-secondary includes industrial and human resources management, municipal law, municipal administration program, and I was the instructor for the MAP program at Durham College. My career experience includes 25 years working for the municipality of Clarington, primarily in public works engineering, with the municipal solicitor in planning and development, bylaw enforcement support, office management, including development of annual capital and operations budgets. I was involved in union negotiations and contract administration. I worked closely with developers, builders, utilities, consultants, and conservation authorities. Clarington is part of the region of Durham, and I was appointed to various boards and committees as part of the two-tier system. Hastings County appointed me to the Hastings Prince Edward Board of Health. I am the vice chair of the board and chair of the governance committee. Hastings County Board of Health appointed me as part of the recruitment team to hire the medical officer of health. I participated in the Hastings County recruitment of the Integrity Commissioner. I served one term on the Roma Executive and AMO Board. The AMO Board appointed me to the recruitment of the current CEO. In my personal life, I am the vice president of the General Motors Salaried Pension Organization called GenMo. GenMo represents approximately 8,000 General Motors salaried retirees, and I'm currently the chair of our parish council at our church. During my term as mayor, there have been many challenges in Marmorant Lake. I had a challenging combination of council. However, I was successful in managing council meetings professionally in accordance with the rules of procedure and the code of conduct. Marmorant Lake was hit with 2 tornadoes in 2 months, and damage was catastrophic to roads, buildings, and there was significant private property damage. Councillor Albert made a strong statement at our last meeting that the province has not been forthcoming with funding and rural Ontario is ignored. As warden, I commit to advocate for the needs of Hastings County municipalities for consistency in provincial, federal grant awards and infrastructure funding. The Marmor Pump Storage Project is important. Northland Power and OPG are proposing to construct a pump storage project to produce electricity at the former Marmor Mine site. The project, if approved, will employ several hundred during construction and undoubtedly will have an economic impact on all of Hastings County and beyond. The province and the federal government representatives must recognize the need for annual guaranteed funding to enable responsible budget decisions. Maintenance of infrastructure is critical to public safety, community well-being, and reduce the risk of liability. I have developed very good relationships with our local MPP and MP. I am a member of the Federal Advisory Council appointed by MP Cramp Nyman. I will use every available opportunity to communicate with all ministries for necessary funding to provide project support programs and services to maintain and improve our overall standard of living. Human resources are our best and most important resource both at the county and in our 14 member municipalities. The team here is exceptional. As we heard on Monday, competition in the workforce is extreme and concerning, especially in the healthcare services. Recruitment and retention is so important, especially in the human services provided by the county, because it involves the health and safety of the most vulnerable members of our society. In summary, I have specific education and experience in municipal government. I have excellent verbal and written communication skills. My experience and qualifications includes responsibilities in a 2-tier system. Your vote must support the candidate with municipal education and experience, demonstrated leadership skills, social and verbal communication skills, and best suited to represent the economics and social needs of the community. It is understood that each head of council has responsibilities and commitments unique to your council and residents. I am a team player, and if I am elected, we will work together and everyone wins. As warden, I intend to carry on representing the county with the same dedication and commitment demonstrated by Warden Phillips. You have set the bar very, very high. Your Honor, I know I will not be able to fill your shoes, but I was hoping that the gown could be altered. And I believe the chain is one size fits all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Now we move on to the election process. Our county clerk, Kathy Bradley, is going to move to the left media table, where each county council member will get a chance to fill in a ballot. It's a secret ballot, and the clerk and the deputy clerk will retire after the ballots are in to do the count. So we're going to start, if we can, two at a time. County councilors will start with Councillor Purcell and Councillor Fitzgerald, and I will work down the line two at a time, if that's okay, and you can cast your ballot. Yep, go ahead. Gentlemen? Councillor Kennelly, Councillor Johnson. Councillor Jenkins, Councillor DeLine. Councillor Firth, Councillor DeChenova, if you would. Councillor O'Neill, Councillor Carson, if you would, please. Councillor Mullen. Thank you all. The clerk and deputy clerk will just retire for a minute while the count is done. If anybody's got a song to sing, or feel free.
Jim, could I say something while we're all sitting?
Certainly, go ahead.
I just wanted to mention to all of the staff that yesterday, for the presentation, not yesterday, I guess it was Tuesday, for the presentations that you did, I know that all of us are going to be elected to certain committees to serve with you. I have my passion, I'm hoping the one I get, but I want you to know that it would be a thrill and an honor to serve with any of your committees. You all spoke so well. You enlightened us as to what you do. You highlighted your challenges. And I want you to know, no matter what committee you get on, I will be an honor to serve with you, and that this council recognizes what you're up against, and that we are here to support you. So thank you very much. You did an amazing job on Tuesday. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor. That's great to hear. And we're looking forward to the massive raise that's coming as a result of that. Really do appreciate it. It was a good day, I thought. We did a councillor training session this week, and staff went through all the programs, and yeah, it was a good day. So thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. I am pleased to announce that Councillor Mullen has been chosen for the warden position. Congratulations, Councillor. I now would ask for a motion to, first of all, I should ask if any of the two candidates wish to inspect the ballots. Okay, thank you very much. I'd like a motion to have the ballots destroyed, please. Purcell, Councillor Purcell. All in favor? Carried. That's great. And now we will move on to the swearing in of the new warden. So we'll call upon Judge Scott to join us. We're thrilled again to have Judge Scott come and do the swearing in ceremony. It used to be he could just walk down the hall, because the courts were in this building, but now we've made him, I don't know if he took a taxi or he walked over, but we're glad to have you here.
Walked over. Over here, Bob. I'm going to read this. If you would repeat after me, I, Bob Mullen,
I, Bob Mullen,
having been elected to the office of warden in the county of Hastings,
as a warden in the county of,
do solemnly promise and declare that,
do solemnly promise and declare that,
one, I will faithfully and impartially
faithfully and impartially
exercise this office
office
to the best of my knowledge and ability.
to the best of my knowledge and ability.
Two, I have not received
Not received
and will not receive any payment
and will not receive any payment
or reward
or
promise
promise
thereof
thereof
for the exercise of this office
for the exercise of this office
in a biased,
cast
corrupt,
up
or in any other improper manner.
or any other improper manner.
Three, I will disclose
I will disclose
any pecuniary interest,
any pecuniary interest,
direct or indirect,
direct or indirect,
in accordance with the
in accordance with
the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
the Municipal Conflict of Interest.
Fourthly, I will be faithful
I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance.
and bear true allegiance
We're going to change that to His Majesty,
to His Majesty,
the King of England.
King of England.
Thank you. I make this solemn promise and declaration
I make this solemn promise and declaration,
conscientiously believing
conscientiously believing
it to be,
it to be true,
that's all right, true and knowing
true and knowing
that it is of the same force and effect
that it is of the same force and effect
as if made under oath.
as if made under oath.
If you'll sign there, I'll swear it. Next, the oath of allegiance. And I, Bob Mullen,
I, Bob Mullen,
having been elected to the office of Warden
having been elected to the office of Warden
in the County of Hastings,
in the County of Hastings,
do swear
do swear
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to His Majesty,
to His Majesty,
King Charles III.
King Charles III.
Again, if you sign here, I'll swear. Honor to invest you with the robes of office. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, His Honor, Warden Mullen. Congratulations.
It's going to be a learning curve, but I start with the inaugural address. Good morning and welcome to the 172nd year of the meeting as a Hastings County Council. Let me also offer a warm welcome to our friends and families assembled here, our distinguished guests who will be properly introduced a little later, and those viewing this on our live stream. 172 years ago, I think the word stream had a very different connotation. I know that I speak on behalf of all my colleagues on council that we look forward to the next 4 years of service to the people and businesses of our great county. Let me start by extending my gratitude to Judge Scott for once again joining us here in Chambers to conduct the swearing in. We know how busy you are. Your presence makes this day very special. Thank you. And to Councillor O'Neill for putting your name forward for the warden's position. It reflects your commitment to the county. To all the members of County Council, I appreciate your support to take on the warden's role. There is no doubt that it will be a big challenge, especially following the past warden Rick Phillips' steps. Rick, you have set the bar high, and for that we are most grateful. Now let me turn to a few opening remarks. I will be brief. I would like to acknowledge the diligence and hard work of all members of the most recent council. None of us would have dreamed of having to live and work through a pandemic, such proportions, when we started our last term. COVID-19 changed everything for us, and yet it also made us realize the incredible value of the services we provide here at the county, and of course in our home communities. I believe that together we did everything we could during the height of the pandemic to support people and our communities. Unfortunately, I think it's too early to say that the pandemic is firmly in our rearview mirror. As we exit off the pandemic highway, we are going to have to turn our attention to the future, and I expect the next few years will continue to be challenging. Whether it is the supply of safe, affordable housing for many that cannot afford home ownership, the increasing demands on our paramedic services as a result of an aging population, coupled with new population growth, or ensuring our long-term care facilities are adequately funded. We will need to work together as a group, and with others like Eastern Ontario's Warden Caucus and the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, try to find the ways to tackle these and other pressing and complicated issues. Let me use housing as an example to illustrate this. Everyone agrees, I believe, that helping to reduce or end homelessness depends on having a safe, affordable accommodations in which to house people. It is a supply problem, first and foremost. Our own wait list for housing has grown to more than 2,800 applications. Many of those on the list are waiting an average of 4 to 5 years. In some categories, it's as high as 10 years to get housed. This situation also plays itself out across Eastern Ontario. There are literally thousands of applicants that are languishing because of the lack of supply of affordable rent geared to income units. In the last few months, however, the Eastern Ontario Wardens Caucus has come together to develop a bold, transformative plan to try and take a major bite out of the supply problem. It is working towards a strategy to see 7,000 affordable new rental units constructed over the next 7 years to house people across our region and here in Hastings County. And by using a mixed public-private sector construction model, the EOWC believes that it would leverage a total of approximately 30,000 new rental units. This would indeed be transformative. This is a multi-billion dollar plan that will require all levels of government and private sector support, but it is doable. The EOC, through the Eastern Ontario Regional Network, has shown its ability to develop and deliver large regional projects. Tackling this portion of the housing supply crisis is something well suited to a regional approach, and I hope that County Council, when the time comes, will give it its full support to the project. So stay tuned. While the EOC 7 and 7 projects offer a good measure of long-term improvement, we need to continue to focus on our daily efforts to reduce homelessness by implementing meaningful programs. To do that, the county will work, as we have in the past, with local partners that have demonstrated the ability to help assist individuals in finding long-term housing solutions. When it comes to paramedic services, I think we are all justifiably proud of the women and men who day in and day out are responding to an ever-increasing volume of calls. They are doing the very best that they can, but we need to acknowledge the pressures of the service. As our population in cities, our county, and in Prince Edward both ages and grows in numbers, we need to be able to keep up to the demand for this service. twin phenomenon of growing population in raw numbers, coupling with aging, is something relatively new to our situation. I know Chief Bowker and county staff are going to be working on ways to deal with the pressure on our existing services. I also expect a joint committee will be coming back to County Council this year with some recommendations to help guide the way forward. Over the more than 100 years that Hastings County has been providing long-term care services to its residents in its 2 homes, we have always tried to do it with a resident focus. In the last term of council, the Joint Long-Term Care Committee took a bold action to recommend additional financial investments in our operations to support the move to 4 hours of care per resident per day. County Council supported those recommendations fully. I'm sure that continued advocacy to the province for adequate funding for our operations will be needed, and I know that the Joint Committee will lead that effort. We will be there to support them once again. These are just a few of the issues that will need to be dealt with in the coming term of council. There will be many more, but I am confident that working together as a team alongside our partners in Belleville and Quinte West, Prince Edward County, and among our 14 members, we will rise to the challenge. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. We've got a number of dignitaries with us today, and we're very pleased to have them, and I'm going to invite them up individually to say a few words at the podium, if that's okay. Adam Bramberger is representing MPP Todd Smith. Adam?
Good morning, Mr. Warden, councillors, past wardens, staff, and guests. Great to be here on behalf of MPP Todd Smith this morning. Of course, he's in the provincial legislature today and could not attend. He would have liked to be here, particularly because there was a time when he represented all of Hastings County. And while I'm sure he doesn't miss the kilometers and the long hours, it's 2 hours, as you know, to drive from Belleville all the way up to Maynooth just to get across this great county. He does miss the people and the friendships that he's made along the way. And I know many people around this table have worked with him in the past. Your motto of supporting people and communities, it's so important right now. And stepping around this horseshoe, you're going to have some great responsibilities to provide the housing, social services, long-term care, and paramedicine, which are the biggest priorities and challenges that we face currently. For the second largest county in Ontario, it's of course a different dynamic for you than just being in your lower tier municipalities. You have to work with one another to set your priorities and learn perspectives from other areas in the county. Working together with each other on council and your staff, we know that good things can happen. Warden Mullen, congratulations on your election today. It shows that your peers around the table believe that you're the leader and someone who can put this group together for the common good, making that collaboration happen. Certainly, we know there are big shoes to fill, as our past warden, Rick Phillips, has been a stable, competent face of this council, serving nearly 9 years in that chair. We know you'll do well, and we thank Warden Phillips for all the people who have served on this council over the past 4 years. To you all, thank you for putting your time and commitment forward to serve 2 different levels of council. It's certainly a great responsibility, but it will be worthwhile for you. As Gandhi once said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. So best wishes on this endeavor. The province will be here to listen, be a willing partner for our shared constituents. I know MPP Smith welcomes your calls, and his constituency office team is here to help. His colleague, MPP Rick Brzee, who is a past warden of Lennox and Addington County, will very much be the same in dedication and being a willing ear to listen and to work with you. So in closing, on behalf of MPP Smith, I'd like to wish you all happy holidays, best of luck in this 4-year term, and a great 2023. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adam, for coming and representing MPP Smith. We have some really good friends with us in the chamber today, and I'd like to call on Mayor Jim Harrison from the City of Quinte West. Jim?
I'd like to speak
Pleasure for us to be here. We're proud of each and every one. Help us make sure. And I want to
Thank you very much, Mayor Harrison. We always enjoy your attendance here, and we do. And I'd like to call on the newly minted mayor from the city of Belleville, returning mayor, I guess, Mayor Neil Ellis. Neil.
Thank you, and congratulations, Warden, and I'm really looking forward to work with you. I'd like to congratulate County Council for some of you that got reelected and for the new people around the table. The City of Belleville is a partner with Hastings County, and this partnership is a partnership that we've grown over not only my term, but the past mayors, and it's an important partnership. It's one of our most important partnerships that we have with any group or any municipality. We all need to work together for the same goal. Last week we had our swearing in and we had council orientation, and I just want to comment on your CAO and your staff that came and explained to my new council and to my council existing of how that great partnership has been forged over probably the last 100 years, and it's a partnership that we need to keep together. It's not only a partnership with you around the table, it's a partnership with the Eastern Ontario wardens. And me being a member of the Eastern Ontario mayors, it's important for our groups to work together and lobby Tom or Todd, whatever we want to call him today, Minister Smith, and also our federal members. I'm looking forward to building a relationship. I want to say goodbye to my good friend, Warden or ex-Warden. I don't know. I'm not sure if you call us ex-Wardens, ex-mayors, or whatever once you're gone, but former Warden Phillips. We forged a relationship that probably is one of my best relationships with any of my political counterparts, and I'm looking, Warden, to forge that same relationship with you. Together, we can work together. We can solve a lot of issues that are in Hastings County. A separated city, I and my council, we thank you for all your work, Warden and past wardens and council around the table. I would look forward to a couple things. Past Warden Phillips took me on a tour of all the municipalities and all your municipalities, and it was a great day. It was probably a 2-day trip that we did in one, but it was a great educational period. There's another thing that I do have a little bone of contention that I want to bring up here today is the Mayor's Golf Challenge. Somehow we've lost the cup since I have left. And Warden, I hope that you have a very high handicap, and I hope that cup comes back to the city of Belleville. But having said that, I am looking so forward to working with every one of you around the table. Every one of you will have my cell phone number, and together we can make Hastings County the best county in the province and in Canada. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. The secret sauce really is the partnership, as you've mentioned, and that long history of working with the City of Belleville and the City of Quinte West, formerly the City of Trenton. It really is the strength of our whole area. So thank you very much for that continued commitment. the same as Mayor Harrison has made. We really appreciate it. We had invited Mayor Steve Ferguson from Prince Edward County, but he couldn't be here today. He did want me to pass on a similar message, actually, that Prince Edward County is looking forward to continuing to work closely with our county and as a member of the East Ontario Wardens Caucus. And he wishes he could be here, but they're in the middle of some training in Prince Edward County. So he does ask me to pass on that message. Likewise, Chief Ardon Miracle was scheduled to come here, but he had to decline just at the last minute as a result of something going on in his community, some work. And he passed on a similar message of partnership and working together. So I thought I'd share that with you. And now I'd like to call on Mark Kirkpatrick, who is the acting president of Loyalist College. Mark.
Good morning. Well, good morning, and thank you very much for letting me join you today in this session. I want to begin by thanking or congratulating each of you on your recent election, and a special congratulations to the newly minted Warden of Hastings County. The call to elected office is an admirable one, and while it is often hard and thankless, I would like to commend. I would like to commend you on putting your name forward to serve. Your dedication and commitment to public services are critical to cultivating vibrant communities. It is my hope that you will leave today knowing that Loyalist College is here to support you in making the region better, more prosperous for all. As acting president of Loyalist College, I have the honor and privilege of leading the college during a period of immense growth and change as we continue to build on our exceptional education and training offerings. Strategic vision is to become Ontario's destination college. And as both of our domestic and international student enrollments continue to grow, you can see our vision coming to life. However, my message to you today is that Loyalist can be more than a provider of education and training. I want you to think of the college as your strongest ally in driving both social and economic prosperity in the region. We can be your strategic partner for attracting new talent, regional investments, and economic diversification, while also addressing the social needs in our communities. We do this by leveraging our very real talents of both our employees and our students to solve real-world problems and drive social innovation. Our remarkable faculty and staff are singularly focused on ensuring our graduates are not only ready for their careers, but they're also prepared to contribute to our broader community and the economy. We also want to support our small businesses to become medium businesses and our medium businesses to become large businesses. We want to work with our national industry partners so they understand that Hastings is much more than a regional operations center. It's a place of opportunity and innovation. I am confident that as we collectively drive change in our region, our partners will continue to disrupt and lead and innovate beyond our region. It is this kind of fundamental change in economic growth that Loyalist College exists to facilitate. And in closing, I want to leave you with an understanding that we're here to help. Please reach out anytime. And once again, congratulations to all.
Thank you very much, Mark. And I think it's fair to say, Mark, that over the last number of years, the bond between the county and the college is getting stronger and stronger, and we look forward to that carrying on. Thank you very much for your leadership at the college. I'd like to ask Susan Rowe now to come. Susan's representing, I think, Stacey Dobb, President and CEO of Quinte Healthcare. Susan.
Thank you. And it is my honor to be here on behalf of Stacey Dobb, our CEO, our board of directors, and the entire Quinte Health team. And I do want to start by thanking you for taking up these positions. I appreciate that elected positions are not for the faint of heart, but the decisions that you make around this horseshoe are so important for today and for the future of Hastings County. Thank you for investing of your time and yourself into these of you and to those of you in the audience who have done these roles in the past. I also just want to say that the past 3 years of the pandemic, really shone a spotlight on the challenges that we face across the health system and the very real impact that has on our most vulnerable citizens. But this pandemic has also shown us the path forward, and that is through partnership, as seems to be the theme for today. What we've been able to do in partnership with our local municipalities, education partners for Loyalist College, all of our social service and health partners, they've been remarkable. I think of just a few simple examples like the vaccination clinics community assessment clinics for testing, our community paramedicine programs, our COPD virtual care clinics. There are so many examples of the way that when we come together in partnership and in collaboration, we can do amazing things to impact the entire health and wellness of our communities and our local citizens. Thank you on behalf of Quinte Health for everything that you have done in the past through your financial donations, and we look forward to a very strong partnership forward to and access to.
Thank you very much, Susan. And we're very honored to have 3 past wardens with us today. I'm going to introduce them and just ask them to stand and be recognized. Harry Danford, who I'm sure everybody knows. Harry was warden in 1989. Harry, thanks for coming. Joanne Albert was warden 2010 to 2011. And Rodney Cooney from Sterling Rodden, 2017-2018. Rodney? Thank you for coming. It really makes it very special. We have some other guests as well I'd like to introduce, if I could. And when I call your name, if you could just stand and be recognized, that would be great. From Centre Hastings OPP, Commander James Locke. Is James here? Okay. From Quinte West OPP, Sergeant Jeremy Doolin. Did I get that right? Thank you for coming, sir. So I'm missing the gentleman at the back, I think, who's got a nice uniform on. Sorry. Oh, okay. You're fire chief. Sorry. I better get better glasses. Our county engineer, Chris Morton. Chris is leading the work that's going to happen for the construction of the new ambulance space for us. He's been doing all the work, all the engineering and design. Thank you, Chris. And our county solicitor from O'Flynn Weiss LLP, Kirsten Musgrove. Kirsten, you're here? Yeah. Now, I purposely didn't introduce Councillor or past Warden Rick Phillips because I want to do it separately. I'm going to do it now. Rick, if you would stand. We all, I think you've heard over the last days and certainly time since the election of the municipal council, how much we're all going to miss you as our warden, and as all of the council members have been saying, you set a bar really high. So I want to welcome you to the past wardens group. There'll be a chair for you the next time around over there, unless you're running again, who knows, but thank you for all your service. All of the staff here are going to miss you, but we know you're going to do great things for places like the college and other organizations. So congratulations on your retirement and addition to the past wardens chairs. Thank you, sir. If you'd like to say a few words, please do.
I can speak loud enough. Great councils, great staff, and a great CAO, of course, and it would be more than my honor to be able to sit over here on this side of such distinguished people. Almost.
I just want to say I was the one that broke up his brain. So.
But I want to say I helped him do it. Thank you for all that County of Hastings has done for me and my family, and it's been my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Past Warden Phillips. And now I'd like to introduce, if I may, Your Honor, the senior staff.
Jim?
Yes, who am I missing?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, of course,
Could I
Tom.
just do one quick thing? I'd be very remiss, and we certainly would, in the office of past warden and so on, if we don't just take 30 seconds and recognize Cheryl. And I'll tell you something, it takes two to make this thing work. And Cheryl, you have been a tremendous asset to this county. So thank you very much for being Mrs. Warden.
Tom, I should have also noted that you're a past warden. You just happen to still be here. What was the year, Tom, that you were warden? Do you remember?
At 1994, and my court to the south doesn't realize that every time we flush, we get him.
Thanks very much, Tom. And now, Your Honor, if I could introduce the senior staff. See how this goes? Yeah. I'll start with Jim Duffin, who's our Director of Facilities. Jim, if you'd stand, maybe you could all just stand and stay standing. Sue Horwood, our Director of Finance, who is retiring very shortly, and I'll introduce Tony's in the room, isn't he? Tony Bird at the back. Tony, you can stand up. Tony is taking over as Treasurer and Director of Finance when Sue exits. Sean Lightfoot, the Director of Human Resources. Aaron Chapman, our Long-Term Care Director. Justin Harrow, our Director of Planning and Economic Development, and new to the row, Connor Dorey, who's our new Director of Community and Human Services. Next to Connor is Chief Carl Bowker. Larry Dean as Director of IT, and we have Carmela Roberto. I think Carmela's in the room as well, our Manager of Housing. I'd also like to introduce Sarah McCurdy, the Administrative Assistant to the Warden and CAO. Sarah. Sharon Christopher couldn't be here today, but she's an Administrative Assistant in our office. John Nicholas, our Communications and Project Coordinator, and Allie Goodwin. Allie's there as their Deputy Clerk, and you saw Allie earlier. So this is the county staff that councillors will see. Well, yeah, oh God, I'm really messing up. Look right over there first. And of course, this person who runs the show, Kathy Bradley, our County Clerk. Kathy? Thankfully, at this point, I get to turn the whole thing over to you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I'd ask for a motion that Warden Mullen, Councillor O'Neill, and Councillor DeLine be appointed as the nominating committee. Can I have a mover for that, please? Councillor Jenkins and Councillor Purcell. All in favor? Any opposed? Carried. I'd like to advise people that there will be a recess in the meeting. A luncheon will be served across the hall, and the nominating committee will gather in 45 minutes to meet the council, and council will resume in an hour.